So good afternoon and warm welcome from Tata Steel and Tata Steel Tubes division. So today I will be speaking about two applications of hollow sections, and just for information, both the examples are from our own expansion projects. So to tell you that Tata Steel is planning to expand its capacity from 20 million ton presently to 40 million ton by 2030. And just for information, again that we also are having a separate engineering and projects team where there are around 50 such structural experts who are taking care of our own expansion plans. So we are expanding both organically and inorganically. And our main focus of expansion presently is our Tata Steel Kalinganagar. So both the projects we'll be mentioning here is from that particular premises. But before that, I wanted to update you about some recent developments what has happened in our Tata Steel Tubes divisions, Tata Structura itself. So Tata Steel Tubes division is also one age-old department or divisions of Tata Steel itself, and we are probably the first tubers who are having all four lines of business like structural tubes, precision tubes, conveyor tubes, and tubes for API grades. And with the recent acquisitions, we are now 1.3 million ton player in this industry, and we are having a huge network of our channel that we are able to cover around 552 districts across pan India. To tell about the journey of Tata Structura, if you see, we launched Tata Structura as a brand for hollow sections in the year 2005. And today we heard about Notions of India. Actually, it happened initially, the phase one of Notions of India was in 2007. And then we also launched OIC 355 grade of hollow sections for the first time in India. And also the galvanized tube in the year 2015. Just to mention that we are a Green Pro certified structural tubes for the first time in India. And again, this Notions of India this year. If we look back, last 2 years, which are actually a pandemic year, we should say, but we are meeting after very difficult 2 years. But lot of developments have happened, and I just wanted to mention few areas like in terms of products, in terms of segments and application, and some initiatives. So if we see the developments in the product area, so we have, for the first time in India, we produce this large size structural tubes 400, 400, 400, 200 and 600 dia up to 16 mm thick from our Khopoli plant. Last year, we produced around 5,000 ton of E410 grade or YST410 grade of hollow section. So earlier our benchmark was like YST355. Now the industry is moving towards higher grade, and very soon we'll see that this in the BIS like IS 1161 and 4923, this YST410 and 450 getting incorporated, and we're getting ourselves ready. So we have already produced YST410 and going for YST450 also. This year I have launched this window and door frame tubes called Tata EasyFit, and the Green Pro certification has also been renewed by CIA based on the performance in the sustainability areas. Just to mention some important application areas, we have supplied in port, infra, in Carver project, we are supplying in the bullet train project, we have supplied more than 1,000 ton already. Data center is an emerging application area for structural tubes also. Airport, so far we have supplied more than 50 airports with a 60,000 ton of steel, and this year also we have supplied in some important airports. Just to tell you that there is a concept of interim airport now. Recently it has happened in the Holong airport of Arunachal, where the first phase to just open this airport facility, there will be a smaller terminal building. Later on, when the original terminal building will come up, so they will convert this smaller terminal building into a cargo terminal. So there also we are collaborating with a lot of experts, and we are supplying our steels. Modular constructions, which is now a talking point everywhere. So we are also using structural hollow sections greatly, and we are making in and out store for BPCL petrol pumps for more than around 1,000 such petrol pumps. In terms of initiatives, I will not mention again about Notions of India, but yes, we are doing some collaboration with IIT Madras to change this IS 806, which is a structural design for hollow sections. This code was earlier last renewed in I think 1975, and it is not renewed almost for 50 years. So we are taking this initiative. We have a technical support team in Tata Structura itself, where we have structural engineers. So wherever customers need some technical assistance, we are strengthening that team also. The last point is the EPD, like environmental product declaration. So now the customers who are appearing for say LEED certification for the building, so they will be requiring this environmental product declarations. So we have done this study for our life cycle assessment, which will be reviewed by a third party, and then we will declare the EPD for the first time for a structural hollow section. So I'm moving little fast. OST 355 gate, I'll not mention much about that, but I'll just mention one data point that last year we supplied more than 30,000 ton of OST 355 gate. So it shows that industry is moving towards. Earlier it was very difficult to convince that yes, higher grades are giving more benefit for your projects in terms of say lightweight and cost saving and all, but there is no further explanation needed. Probably industry has moved towards that already. And now we are, so many of us in this particular hall are belong to this particular slide. So we are collaborating with all types of customers, nodal agencies, special architects and engineers. So Notions of India is one of the such example, and we are collaborating to support them in their projects. Now coming to today's two applications areas I will mention. So the first one is a large span shade for industrial buildings, and the second one is the application of large diameter tubes in our electrical building or multi-story construction. So just Ministry of Environment and Forest has, they have strengthened the guidelines. Now earlier all the manufacturing organizations who used to have this open storage of the raw material. So now with the recent guidelines, so we have to provide a cover storage for environmental reason and to control the fugitive dust, to prevent the water pollution further, and it will also enhance the quality of the raw material, and which will in turn improve the quality of the final product as well. So there we need to construct a shade with a span of say 155 meter, which is huge, and a length of say 400 meters with a height of 45 meters. So for the engineering team along with us, when we were thinking of that kind of huge shade, so normally when we talk about shades, so first thing we comes to our mind is that PEB. I understand that PEB has its own advantage definitely, but for a span of say 155 meter and for a very huge dust area, so PEB was not a first choice for us. We are exploring further. We had earlier this kind of conventional industrial shade or conventional truss shade, but we had some better experience in terms of some collapses. So that's why we avoided that. The last option was the space frame solutions there. So if we see the features of the space frame, so it's a truss-like structure, but the beauty is that it will be definitely lightweight, and you will get this huge space, which is a column-free space, and the support requirement in the periphery are also very less. And there is a triangular formations. The best part is that the members which will be forming these space frame things, so that will be fully utilized. So since we are using tubes here, and the members will only experience say only compression or tension, these axial forces, there will be no bending. So their structural tubes are one of the best choice for the structural engineers also. And if you see the advantage, as I have already mentioned, you will get the clear space as required, and faster construction. More importantly, it will be like a factory-made manufacturing. So all types of quality assurance and quality control is very easy to do when we are going for a factory-made manufacturing process, and it will be faster also. So I have a target to complete this project in 6 months' time. So there are some images, but the projects is in manufacturing stage presently. Coming to some of the applications area, other than this, I'll just touch upon the first this the types of space frame. So if you see based on the curvature, there are 3 types. Like it can be a flat covers, it will be barrels, a vault shape also, and can be a spherical also. And if you see the arrangements of the elements of a space frame, so it can be a single layer grid, it can be a double layer grid or triple layer grid. And more important, the important part is the connection. So earlier it was like welded or bolted, but the basic of any space frame structure, if you as we know that always this threaded connection or these balls are very much helpful to create the connectivity, and that is the unique property of any space frame structure. So along with this kind of RM shade, as I mentioned, so there are some other applications, like it can be a toll plaza structure, it can be airport terminal building or canopies or aircraft hangar, or structural tubes with a higher grade will definitely give you much more advantages. The other application, as I mentioned initially, is the use of structural hollow sections for building of ECR building, which is a high load carrying capacity building. So ECR buildings are like electrical control room, which are integral part of any manufacturing facility. So if you are going to commission any plant, so first we have to set up this ECR building, then only we can commission the other parts. So that's why the time is very much important here. And earlier in Tata Steel, we used to follow these conventional sections or maybe prefabricated sections for beams and column applications. But since with our Khopoli plant now, we have used these 400, 400 and 400, 200 sections for beam column applications. And there, the engineering team has achieved this savings in terms of total tonnage of around 25%. And since it will be a multiples of such buildings for one particular plant, so overall we see a savings in the timeline of around 3.5 months for this entire project. So that's majorly about this ECR building, but are these large die hollow sections, those are also helpful for such kind of projects where we have already supplied, like in ICC Dwarka, we have also supplied around 400 by 200 sections. And this some of the stational buildings where we have also supplied 400, 200 sections for stational building structures. So, and very recently with the support from this community, so we have also introduced this large size hollow sections for AIMS Hospital building, the escape ramp project. And we have received very good feedback from the customers also.
1 minute left.
Yeah, so I have, my apology that I have, I was a little faster, but the message what we wanted to convey here in this particular forum, that we are Tata Steel, and as you know, probably we are a company who are dealing with materials like steel. But gradually, since the morning, if you see our approach, so from a product concept, now we are a service-minded organizations. So we are also having our own service and solution business. We are also launching new products. As I have explained, we are also collaborating with academia, and we are also developing our own team, who can assist in structural designing. So the message here from Tata Structura that we are here. So in terms of product development, in terms of any design support, in terms of assistance or BIS upgradations, we are here. So if you need any support, so we are always there to support you for your projects. So thank you.